Yo, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another... No, I'm just kidding. Welcome to another episode of the Field of Dreams podcast, and this time we have...
It's my time now, isn't it? Isn't it 109 in the sky, but the pigs won't quit? You're here with me, Dr. Lava. I'm gonna make all kinds of static to keep you alive. So listen up. The signal wave is bulletproof, the copyright is secondary. It's time to do it now and do it loud. Say the choice, make some noise. And then it goes, well, like the song I cannot sing right now because the copyright is not so secondary. So, well, here I am. I'm Lapa. Thanks for having me here on the Field of Dreams.
That's a sick intro. No one's in an introduction like that, but then again, yeah, you are a... Yeah.
Well, right. It was about time to have someone do an intro. I mean, you have your own intro, and it's funny. I mean, and it's always hilarious to like someone on a big energy. Yeah, and then no. Oh. So I got to do something.
Yeah, you countered it, so yeah, works. Alright, so without further ado, let's get on to the questioning. If you wanted to question me, you could always do that.
Of course I do.
Well, I guess we can start with you. In some of the things that you wanted to talk about, one of the things is your music to software and what you use to make your music.
Oh, well, I'm a big fan of Audacity. Audacity, like, maybe you say Audacity? I mean, I'm Argentinian, so there's a lot of words that you might use that we just stole and say it in our own weird way. But yes, I'm a big fan of Audacity because it's simple, it's like ready to make some stuff, and I think it's a great tool to make things. How can I say it? In a way that still feel raw and kind of old. I mean, I know a lot of people that use Fruity Loops. I myself use Fruity Loops sometimes because Fruity Loops has more refinement because it has like a better choice of effects and plugins and stuff, but Audacity is like a more straight way to impact on a song. I mean, if I want to have an old radio feeling for a track, I just put some EQ here and there and just destroy the whole thing and it's over. I don't have to do almost anything else. It's so easy. It's like a signal wave ready-made.
I love destroying songs and samples and just seeing where it goes.
It's great fun. Destroying things is great fun. I mean, it's like a human nature to destroy things, and kinda why are we here in this fucked up world? But yes, in terms of sound and music and signal wave, which is the thing I mostly do with Lapa, is great fun. And well, I'm not harming anyone. Well, as far as I know.
Yeah, as long as you have the right beliefs and mindset, you shouldn't.
Come again, please?
Oh, as long as you have the right mindset and beliefs, it shouldn't be much of an issue.
Well, having the right sample is indeed the most hard part of making something in my method. I mean, I mostly do things with Argentina music, which is kind of a mission to me, to this project called Lapa. it's like something that I found a lot of limiting in some parts and very great in some others, because there's a lot of music that I don't know, that I still exploring in Argentinian music, but at the same time there's a lot of things that we as society, as musicians and stuff, well, I'm not a musician, but Argentinian music and stuff, it doesn't make the same as, I don't know, European music, North American music, Japanese music and stuff. So if you want to do, I don't know, Microsoft with Argentinian music is kind of hard. It's very difficult to have some smooth jazz that isn't very recent, you know, like,
yeah,
I don't know, before of the 2000s. It's very hard to find some things around that time that you can use to make a Microsoft, or I don't know, a classic vaporwave or so stuff. We have, I find we have a very unique approaching to things that eventually landed here, like new wave and stuff, that sometimes, but most of the times, I feel doesn't match with the things that were happening internationally in those kinds of music, those styles of music, even in rock, in pop, even in electronic. I mean, I recently submitted for this 19th electronic compilation by the FEILD Venus. A big shout out to the FEILD Venus, because made an awesome album. But when I was searching for samples, it was like, okay, 90s music, okay, I'll go with someone like DJ Dero, that it might be one of the biggest DJs here in Argentina, along with Hernán Cattaneo, of course. But the things he did, DJ Dero, it was a lot of what we call marcha. Marcha was an electronic kind of style that I mean, it was electronic, it was ravey and stuff, but it was more like a military march. It has some stuff that resembled some military step by step, you know. and so it was like, well, this kind of music, I don't know if it fits well to a disco in the US in the 90s, or in Europe, around the world, and it is hard for that part. But at the same time, DJ Dero and his productions, his music, made him a big star outside of Argentina. I mean, the guy is very known in electronic around the world, so marcha must be a big thing outside the world, outside our world. I mean, outside our country, and I don't know about it. But the thing is that some things that are produced in Argentina are quite like similar, but not so similar.
Yeah.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just thinking of a following based on what everything you've said.
Oh, no problem, no problem.
Because it's a lot to take in, but at the same time, there's not really much else to ask. Considering I know, well, not know, but like I've digested all the things you said.
Mm-hmm. Well, can I ask you something instead?
If you want to, sure. I was gonna ask where did you find the samples, but you also talked about, the popular DJs in Argentina. So
Yeah, I mean, when I search for samples, there is a lot of sources I have. First of all, I search a lot of my own music. I mean, not mine because I didn't produce anything yet, but yet. A couple of projects I'm making, but we can talk about later. I mean, music I have in my discs, and I don't know, in my PC or whatever. But things I do know. I mean, I like to search for new music all the time, and I'm a big fan of discovering new things in music, and especially around the world. But most of the time, I don't found new things like thinking, well, this can be an album, this can be a new record. It's more like, okay, this is new, I like it. I go for it, I download it, or I buy it if I can, but not exactly thinking about sampling it, and not in that mental mood when I'm searching for new music. I mean, Luxalia, my recent album, it has a lot of things I already know for years. Music I really know for years. There's only a couple of samples that I found recently. One of the samples it comes from a project called Collide I found weeks ago, and it's kind of ambient sort of music, and a lot of stuff, but they have an album released just months ago, and I found a track that it made me feel like, okay, I gotta do something with that. But that kind of thinking doesn't happen very often when I'm searching for music. So it's my first source is the music I already know. If I need something, well, I'm going to search for something, but I have to search something with that on that route, like, okay, I'm gonna search for this kind of thing that can land into a new album with this mood, with this feeling, but then the other music that can appear, because YouTube have its weird algorithms, and I totally discard at the time, which it might be a big wrong path, but I got to focus on something.
Interesting. Do you ever plan on using other samples other than Argentinian?
I did. I mean, there is like 3 or 4 tracks on most of my albums that use another samples that are Argentinian, and there is the Lenguaje Extranjero series of albums, which there is 3 of them: Orbitalia, Liminalia, and recently Luxalia, that goes with just international samples. I mean, the phrase lenguaje extranjero is foreign languages. That was the like a name to separate the things I mostly do with with Argentinian samples, and the things I do with other kind of samples, and I must say it's kind of liberating in some terms to do something outside Argentina, because, like I said, a lot of styles of music that comes to Argentina, sorry, uh, goes with decades of experience. When Argentina knows a style, that style has already like decades living and making a lot of productions. So there is a lot of things that sadly doesn't come the same way here. But at the same time, I don't want, when I do things with international samples, I don't want to fall in the common places. And you might know, obviously, because you are a producer too, that vaporwave in general, like the big umbrella of vaporwave, has a lot of like cliche points, might say, like, I don't know, using Japanese music. It's so good. I mean, Japanese music has a lot of styles. You want to go with smooth jazz, they have it. You want to go with funk music, they have it. You want to go with electronic, they have it. Rock, grunge, and whatever, they have it. And they do extremely well. But it's like all the time, a lot of people are making things with just one region, when it's one specific region in mind. And I don't know, I feel like it's a resource. Yes, it's not like a crime, you know.
Yeah.
It's nothing wrong with that, but I feel people can do new things with another kind of music. I mean, for example, Maximilian Gate, who is a producer very new in this scene, and appearing on the Channel Zero, and one of the most recent albums he made was entirely made of German samples and stuff from German television, and I think it's one of the best broken transmission albums I heard in a lot of time. And this wasn't like loops from Japanese television or some things that was already explored, you know. I found that people trying to use what they know, what they feel more close to, produce some things that feels like more authentic in some ways, and like they can put more feeling into it because it's yours, it's close to you, and you already seen it or heard of it. I don't know, it appeared on your television, it appeared on your radio. Something, you know, you can I don't know how to say it. You can grab it because you know it better than me or whatever from another country, you know?
Yeah. I've always found interest in using international samples, but I just never knew how to manipulate it to my style per se. Because, well, yeah, like what you said, from people don't like they don't like using stuff out of their own reach a lot because, well, it doesn't feel that quote unquote personal to them, so they find a hard time getting it unless they already previously had experience beforehand.
Yeah, I mean, you can go in a safe route if you use some Asian music samples. Once again, it's all good. It's not a crime. It's not like I hate it. But I mean, I don't know where are you from?
Oh, I'm from America.
Okay. Um, I feel like your style of music, of the things that you do, are kind of like pushing some, well, some not, a lot of boundaries I've been pushed by your own methods. So I feel like you got a lot of things of the US music, and I don't know, like country music or some Americana or some I don't know, that emo music, Midwest emo music that you might use in some ways. Like, it's not like I want to promote myself, but I mean the things I did with Luxalia, and like open my mind to some things I haven't did in the past, and I think that the things you are doing are like my method on Luxalia 3 times better and 3 times more in the future, more like advanced things. So, and if I took a lot of samples from a lot of sides, I mean, from YouTube to Proto Martyr and other stuff, I think you can do the same. With, well, I mentioned Proto Martyr, and there is a band from the US, and there's something you can use for the things you are doing, because I feel your music is way outside the cliches of a lot of things in vaporwave, which is great, completely great. So, you know, and use more US music.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people say that the U.S. is practically the world in and of itself because of how diverse it is compared to some other countries, or hell, even regions at this point. So, yeah. So I've noticed, yeah, before the podcast started and while listening to some of your music that you've shared before, a lot of it has political ties into itself. Could you elaborate on that?
Well, it's because I'm I don't know how to say it, because it might sound very, very wrong, but I'm kind of a very political person myself.
Activist?
Not because I am a politician, but because I'm very interested in politics stuff. And I mean, I was like 10 years old when I saw the 2001 crisis here in Argentina. It was a not just a rough time, but a weird time to be a kid. I mean, I was playing, I don't know which game was, but I was playing a race game with a friend in my PlayStation 1, and we were like the whole afternoon, the whole nap time, let's say, because it's siesta here. But I mean, that nap time, we were just playing. Oh, another race, and it might be like 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. and my mom came and say I need to watch the news, like some like a very serious tone. And it was okay. We put it out the PlayStation, and the first thing I saw at that moment was the helicopter. You know what happened in 2001. I mean, there was a big crisis in economic terms, and that completely eroded the credibility of the government, and the president just flew away. I mean, the guy took an helicopter and escaped
and just
outside of the country. It was like a wild moment here. Like the guy just ran away from Argentina, while the people were being beaten by the police. And there was a lot of people that died because of that, and the guy just ran away. And that was the first thing I just saw on the television. Our president running away from the country. It was like, fuck, what the fuck is happening here? And I felt like that was first moment of complete conscience I had in my life. And
really?
and,
wow.
and that settled a lot of stuff of my way of thinking, like getting interest in politics stuff, in the history of Argentina. So there's a lot of things I do with some sort of political critic and some social critic also. It's not like very explicit things, but there is some hints of that, of political stuff here and there. I mean, there is a little album I made for Christmas, and it was all folklore, like local songs from at Christmas time, in a way of folklore. I mean, some music that was very lively, very accessible, but the cover of it is a tree. I don't know if you have seen it, but it's a Christmas tree that appeared on the first Christmas program, the first Christmas show of the public television that came after we recovered the democracy here in Argentina in 1983. I mean, after the dictatorship and that horrible nightmare that was the dictatorship, the first months out of it and in the restored democracy came along with Christmas, and the public television made a show that ended up with a tree.
Oh,
It
wow.
felt, to me, it felt it was just a Christmas tree, but I almost cried when I saw that Christmas tree, because it felt like, okay, we as a country have a lot of injuries, a lot of trauma, and a lot of bad things we have to recover, but the country is ours again, the democracy is ours again, and we can celebrate Christmas as a free country again.
Hell yeah. So what made you interested in incorporating politics into your music? Because after your backstory, do what?
Yeah, keep going.
Oh, because after your backstory and how you became interested in it, what idea sparked in your mind to connect politics or your music with, your beliefs and stuff?
I don't know. I feel like it in everything I do. There is. I mean, in terms of music of stuff, there is something I want to say, and almost all the things I want to say, like I need to express. Every time I need to express myself, there is a lot of politics stuff and a lot of social stuff, and I feel signal wave is a great way to convey those kind of things. I mean, just to put an anecdote, a little history of that. The first album I was about to make, it was the Café album, which was my first long album, but it was the third release, and that particular album is about the dictatorship, but then I thought a lot of things about well, do I want to start with this? Because it's a heavy statement. It's something quite harsh to listen, to know, because dictatorship here in Argentina was truly hell. And then I decided to postpone it for some time, because I feel like, well, first I'll do something to prove myself. How can I go in terms of Cinerwave? How do I produce this thing I'm just learning to do? But then again, it was a great choice, a great decision, because I was making this album in January, and the day we remember what happened in the dictatorship comes just in March. So it was like, okay, we freeze this thing up to March. I put out the album in March. It was a better choice than to put it now in a more a mediocre state of production. I learned some things along the way with the first two releases, so it was a better choice. But the thing is, the first album was about to be a political one, and there is a lot of things I want to say in political terms that sometimes I can, and sometimes I don't know how to express, but almost all of things are in some ways political in Lapa, and I think I do that because here in Argentina there is a lot of, I don't know how to say, people don't want to talk about politics things, and I know we have a history of corrupt politicians, of people who really let us down, not just presidents, but local governments and a lot of people that promised a lot of things and just make it worse for all of us. And that made the whole society like distant. If I don't know if that makes sense. Like they feel a big distance from political stuff. They don't want to talk about political. Like, oh no, it's a boring theme or a boring stuff to talk. We don't make friends talk about politics. But I feel we, as a society, let them do all the things we then will pay for it. I mean, we just let them, the politicians, do a lot of bad things, and then we as a society pay for those things, just because we don't want to talk about it. Why we don't talk about it? Why we cannot talk about politics, about religion, about social stuff? Why not? We just avoid it as a society. We avoid those things we need it for our own living, everyday living. And I feel bringing politics to the music, to the things I do, is a way to put it in the general discussion. I don't know if this mission is going very well, but at least I'll try.
So is that also the reason why you started doing journalism?
Kinda. I mean, journalism is like it's a job, but it's a passion in itself, at least to me. But journalism isn't something just for politics. I mean, journalists that focus on politics is. It's great. I mean, it's the most thing I read and I see, I watch on the news. But journalist has a lot of stories, and if you start digging in the society, in the things common people do, all pun intended, but then the things that common people do, there is a lot of interesting stories. People that, I don't know, started a local business or try to excel in some sport, or I don't know, having a sports club in a neighborhood and try to make like bonds in this neighborhood just to make people and young people out of, I don't know, crime, drugs, and a lot of bad stuff. I feel these kind of stories are the kind of stories journalists must put more on the front line, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know in the US how the news are, but here in Argentina there is a lot of news that are completely fussed with negativity, like, oh, the crime here, the crime that. I mean, it's important, okay, it's important. It's the kind of things that happen sadly day by day on the common people, but there is a lot of good stories also, a lot of stories filled with true happiness, and I think we also must share them. And that kind of stuff is very hard to find in journalists, in our local journalists, and it's also, I must admit, it's very hard to find in what Lapa does. but there is a couple of things I try to do with that happiness of common people in mind, and like the Mini Aventuras album, like some things on Compacto de Noticias, and try to put some good stuff, the good journalists back on the front, and it's also one of the things I want to do in the future. I'm going to spoil you, but there is an album I'm currently planning, and it's about journalists. I'm some let me say again. I'm already searching for some samples that goes along with this kind of stuff, this happiness in journalists that I want to find. So I don't know if it's going to be a good stuff, but it's something I'm planning.
Sick, bro. I can't wait, honestly. I get, well, yeah. Switching the topic a little bit, since every client, I guess, that I've interviewed has wanted to talk about this topic, and I guess I could hear your opinion on it. What's your opinion on AI and the rising technological advancements?
Ooh.
I knew that was a big one.
I mean, I think I'm not going to be different to the people who were here and talking about it. I mean, there is some things I cannot reject of technology as an aid, like a tool, you know?
Yeah.
A tool for making some stuff a little bit easier. I mean, I'm someone who fights with technology a lot. I mean, I'm a big friend of Nawesat, and he always say, dude, you have a fight against technology. Like, technology must hate you.
Yeah.
We have a running joke about my problems with PC, with notebooks and stuff. Like Agent Smith is trying to attack you every time, and it feels a lot of that. So I need some things and some tools to make things in technology a little bit easier for me, but I don't need to make things like 100% easier. And I mean, there's a lot of things that we as people, as human beings, we have to learn for ourselves, and have to bring some skills to perfect ourselves. Why not? I mean, I know we're an age of humanity that we want all right now, and we must excel at anything we want to try right now. We want to, I don't know, play guitar, and tomorrow you gotta be Slash, and I won't accept anything else that level of skill. And you want to, I don't know, play keyboards, well, you have to be Beethoven for tomorrow. And if you're not Beethoven tomorrow, you're a disappointment. And that kind of mentality has made the whole humanity to find things that I don't know, make a short route for anything we want to do. And I think we must bring the skills back, our human skills back. I know that isn't easy, but why should we just give it everything to a machine and to something that doesn't know about the human effort? I mean, it's not like I want to reject everything in technology, but in the case of music made with AI, it's like, why? And there is a lack of human effort there. I try to find things to work with, some samples to work with that has some history back, like, I don't know, some bands that, or some singers, artists and stuff that doesn't have an history of success. Sadly, because music industry is very disappointing to a lot of people. These bands, these artists got rejected, and I want to like make some, what is the word? Like bringing them with some respect for them in some way. And I don't know, and this history of effort, of human effort, is something that AI cannot reproduce. AI just want to make the things that goes, what the AI understand is perfection. You want a jazz track? Well, AI will make a track that emulates the perfection in jazz. Okay, but it doesn't have any human effort, any history of trying once and again and again and again, and to find that kind of perfection. It's just ready-made, and a lot of the time that kind of AI music feels like soulless.
Yeah.
You have the perfection, okay, you have the, I don't know, the right cues here and there, the techniques, okay, but it feels like mediocre. Perfection on which terms, you know? What kind of perfection is this? Because yes, it has all the cliches of jazz music, for example, but doesn't have the perfection of a human soul playing. And I mean, it doesn't respect. I feel this the AI generated music doesn't make any respect for humanity, or human effort, and for the human history of making things for themselves, trying to excel in music, in graphic design, and whatever creativity section of your brain. But that's my opinion. I feel like it might not be just my opinion. There's a lot of people that I think the same. It's like I'm not rejecting technology as a tool, but I don't want this tool to become my own hands, my own brain, my own eyes and stuff.
Yeah, because, well, obviously there's going to be some technological progression in the world, but as long as it doesn't become everything, then yeah, you just have to find a balance.
Yeah, but we live in this capitalist world that pushes a lot of things that goes with the right now thing that I was saying previously. I mean, you got to make music and you got to do it right now. I mean, the CEO of Spotify, that shit person that is Daniel Lakey, Egg, or whatever his surname is, say, once said that if you as an artist doesn't make enough money, it's because you're not making enough songs. Like, you have to be a machine doing songs like every time. But that guy doesn't play a note, a single fucking note, and he's just making money out of a lot of people that do play notes. But the thing he said is just that. I mean, you want money? Well, do it quick, do it a lot quick. So there is a lot of people that goes with AI generated music just because of that. I mean, it's easy, it's quick, and you have an album in just minutes, and you just put it on Spotify, and I don't know. That's the things. That's the kind of route that this capitalist world is trying to push in everything. It's not just AI and technology. Every time you want to do something, the capitalist mind will try to make you make it quick, made it easier, and I don't know. If you have success with that, you are a big businessman, and if you don't, you are just a loser.
It's a world we live in, but you're not wrong. It's all about the money game.
I think we have to revert to things that make us more patient. I think it's completely contradictory with the things I'm doing, because I have like almost 20 albums.
Yeah.
I'm not the patient kind of person, but I mean,
you could say the same with Sweet V too.
Well, Sweet V is a big worker.
Yeah.
And well, shout out to him, because
he's
a great artist. He's a great artist. And to bring up my friend Nawal Sad once again, he makes albums not very frequently, because he puts a lot of effort and a lot of time on that, and I feel this is not just for music, for a lot of stuff, we have to revert to that mentality, I think.
Yeah. There's a thing going overhead. If there was one thing in the world that you could change, what would it be?
Like in general life?
It could be over any topic, like feeling, disease, like anything.
damn. That's a very big question and a hard one, I gotta say. I mean,
I can give my answer.
Can it be one more than one answer? Because I have some things to change in myself, in the life of other people, in general life as well. It was like, it is a big list of things I want to change.
Well, it's up to you if you want to talk about it. It is your episode, so.
Well, I'm going to say quit, and I mean, in my life, I want to change the things that goes with mental health, and something I'm struggling with from several years. I mean, yeah. I'm going to therapy right now, and I'm making like the right path, you know. But if I can like pushing a button and just fix myself, it would be great. But then again, it's a route. It's not something you do from one day to another.
Yeah.
And it literally saved my head some years ago, so I'm going on that direction again. And then in other people's lives, I want things to be better in general stuff, like work stuff, people that need a job, that need a better job, that need a better payment and stuff.
Need a better everything.
Yes, exactly. And then for the world, I just want the world to get rid of the faces, to people, people to get rid of all these right-wing bastards going up everywhere in the world. I mean, we in Argentina have this guy as a president, this crazy motherfucker
yeah.
called Milei, and it's not just that he's a fucking right-wing guy. It's just embarrassing every fucking time. I mean, even from people who vote for him, it's like, what the fuck is he doing or saying again, all the time. And I think there is a lot of that in the whole world. A lot of people that feel disappointed by their leaders time after time after time, and I just wish we as a humanity have the strength to kick these people out of life. I feel these people have no right to be in this kind of positions, in this kind of places of such important decisions. People that in real life they might deserve a bunch of too, but sadly, because they have a lot of money, they buy the right to be president. That's what first thing I wish for the whole world.
Very respectable. I mean, yeah, I have no much further comment. You explained it pretty well.
I feel.
Oh, go ahead.
I feel Hitachi might say the same with more harsh words.
Oh yeah, he told me he had like a lot more personal experience. I mean, sure, yeah. You're from Argentina, but well, yeah, because he had a lot more whatever the flip it is. I cannot speak.
Well, for the people who are watching this, after you're watching this episode, then go back and see the Itachi episode, because First of all, he's a great artist, and then they sorry Mike again. They are great artists, and they have a big statement about politics stuff. So it's a very interesting chat.
You said you had multiple things you wanted to talk about for what would you change? Mm-hmm. If there's another one you wanted to talk about.
I'm thinking.
I could give my answer.
Oh, let's listen. Let's listen.
If there's one thing I could change in the world, it would be... No, I'm not even questioning this. I'm gonna get rid of hate. I feel like it's like the one thing in the entire world that could fix like 90% of the problems in the world. Just getting rid of hate. Because if you think about it and dive down the rabbit hole and all the family tree stuff and whatnot, well, like family tree of like politics and shit like that. If you dive down the tree of it, all of it can technically be stemmed down back to hate. Hate for others,
That's
hate
right.
for yourself, hate for the world in general. Now, I know it's a broad term, but if you could just get
bad.
Yeah.
No, go on.
Oh. Well, I know it's a broad term, but if you could, if you just get rid of the emotion and just have other emotions take over, then in my opinion, I feel like people would have a lot more optimism than just being engulfed by hate and rage. Because, say for example, if hate and rage were replaced with sadness, for example, then people might have a lot more, what would you call it? Empathy, I guess you could say. Empathy and sympathy for each other. Because because I've heard from multiple sources that anger and hate are like the single most consuming emotion that the human body and human emotional response has. So if you just replace it and change it for some other emotion, like sadness for an example, people would have a lot more empathy and sympathy for each other, which in turn would help the human race in general be a lot more susceptible, but also a lot more passionate for each other.
Yeah, and I feel like I feel hate as a tool. If you use it correctly, if you use hate correctly, you can go for a good situation. I know it's contradictory, but I mean, let's say someone is in a state of oppression, and sometimes sadness doesn't bring the right kind of energy to overthrow that oppression. But I mean, as long as hate is that kind of tool that triggers the enough amount of energy to change things that are completely wrong, I feel like hate is like a current state of mind is a lot of how to say, like you say, like a rabbit hole that doesn't come to an end, and it goes along for generations a lot. I mean, here in Argentina, there's a lot of that, a lot of hate that goes with, I don't know, with people from different regions, from hate to women, hate to I don't know, hate to trans people, to gay people and stuff like that, and it goes like over generations, and it doesn't make sense, because it's not a hate that brings something good out of it. It's just hate. It's just a state of mind that just covers your brain. Even if you feel sad for something you cannot comprehend, that might trigger something like questions about why don't you understand that. There is a lot of people here in Argentina, and even here in San Juan, the place I live, that doesn't understand homosexuality, for example. That goes like, oh, but I don't know how this goes. Well, it just goes the same way that heterosexuality. It's not so different. You like the same kind of people as you. And that lack of understanding, and if you feel sad about it, it might trigger that question, like, how does this work? And if you find the right answer from a point of sadness, you might change your mind from something very full of love. Like, well, you understand now how these people that doesn't love the same way as you can relate to other people, and you'll find them the same as you. It's the same kind of people as you, just they love each other and you don't. It's not that hard, you know. It's not that different. It's not this kind of big barrier that separates some people who deserve human rights and some people that don't. It's not like that. It's just, I don't know, I use a red sneakers and you don't. like that kind of stuff. But I feel that you're right. I mean, if you approach some things you don't like or don't understand from a different point out of hate, I think that will make you easier to get the right answer and change your mind for a good path, for a good thing, for something that can bring you more empathy, and it doesn't really change your life. It's not like, oh, now I understand how gay people are and now I am one of them. It's just you are yourself, and that's all. Just now you have a sense of empathy. It doesn't change your mind of how you're living, how you're loving and stuff. It's just you're now understanding another kind of people, and we're all the same, and we're all deserving human rights, and we're all wanting to make things easier and happier for anyone, for everyone. I mean, I don't know if that makes sense. I'm struggling with language right now.
It's all right. We're coming up on the 1 hour mark, and I totally get what you're saying. I mean, we're all human at the end of the day, and it doesn't matter what we look like. We all deserve the same type of respect. Although for some personalities, they really don't.
Exactly. I mean, there's a lot of things here in San Juan, the province I'm living, that goes with this mentality of hate, and it's very sad. It's very sad. If you just put yourself in a mentality of questioning the things you don't understand, you might be reaching the point of understanding. And it won't change your life so drastically, but it will make you a better person.
Yeah.
It will make you a not a hateful person, not a fascist, not an homophobic one, not a racist one, just a better person. Someone who's better. Just that. and you will keep doing the same things you're doing. It's not like you change everything. You just better. Just that.
Hell yeah. I wish we could continue this on further, but we are getting close to the one. Actually, we are surpassed the 1 hour mark by 5 minutes. But I love the conversation, though. Is there any final remarks that you want to give out? Shout outs, achievements, upcoming projects? I mean, you already touched on the upcoming projects a little bit.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I'm making. There's 1 or 2 collaborations I'm not going to disclose a lot, but there is some things going on. There is kind of a triple album I'm planning currently, and there is this journalist album that will go very in the future. And for the shout out, I mean, my pals of Argentum Quorum, East Access, Ishiboridai, and Nahuel Sad, and people that aren't just great producers, great musicians, but also great people as well. I mean, when we started this collective, this Argentinian collective, I don't know how to say. It's like a gift. It's like a heaven-sent gift. These people are not just very talented people, very hard-working people, but also people that encourage you all the time to make things, that give you advice, that gives you some critique in the things you might correct some tracks or some production stuff, and it goes very well. But also people that have a mentality very full of love, and the things you were saying, people that are breaking this hateful mentality and replace it for a mentality full of love. And this is like, again, heaven sent gift, and I'm really grateful for all of them. So shout out to Success, to Ishiboridai, to my big friend Nahuel Sat.
Hell yeah. I love their music, and I can't wait to find out where the whole thing between y'all goes.
Oh, that goes another thing. We are planning currently. We are planning an album as Argentum Quorum. So in a very near future, we might put it out.
Peak? Very peak. All right. Any last remarks that you want to give out?
No, just like, one second.
You don't have to.
I'm very grateful.
Oh yeah.
I'm very grateful to you and to have me in your podcast, because I've been following for weeks, for months ago. I feel this podcast is getting better every time. There is a couple of episodes I'm missing, but I listened to the whole previous episodes, and I feel this thing is getting better every time. Great chat, great place to talk about things from music, from outside music. So congratulations to you for making this space to just talk, and very grateful once again for having me here.
Thank you. And thank you so much for coming out today, too.
And thanks to you once again.
Alright, peace out, brother.
Peace out, see you soon.